Hey guys, Josh Stockleather here for video discussion board 6. What is the relationship between a community's grasp of divine forgiveness and its capacity to function as a community of forgiveness? So it kind of all comes to a head here in our reading when Peter, first denies Jesus 3 times. The other disciples just leave; they're nowhere to be found, so to speak. So now Jesus is resurrected, and he seeks to Peter, with the notion of forgiveness. It's not explicitly said, the word forgiveness here, but it's implied, as we'll see here in a few minutes. So, like I said, the other disciples had left. Of course, Jesus now is resurrected. They're kind of wandering around aimlessly. Parents says without their way, even second guessing themselves. And their calling to be leaders, spiritual leaders, disciples, to bring others to Jesus, to preach his message, to further his kingdom. Perrin says, as all of this was being done, despite the fact that Jesus had risen from the dead, the root cause of their spiritual listlessness can only have some inward sense that their sin had disqualified them from their leadership. Their sin gave them the false notion that they could not be forgiven. They could not complete their role as a spiritual leader, a disciple that Jesus called them to do. To feed their sheep, to bring their sheep, to bring more of their sheep to him. A community of sheep, of people, of believers back to Jesus. Without their forgiveness, they felt that they were, they felt, inadequate. They felt they couldn't lead as Jesus showed them how to. So now we see, Jesus seeks out Peter, gives him a second chance, so to speak, here, and to show his love for Jesus, which he did. And then Jesus then commands him to go feed his sheep, which we spoke of earlier, which Peter does. He tells his disciples, he's able to say, I'm forgiven. This is what happened. The others follow suit, as we see in the Bible. Again, the word forgiveness is not in that. It is not anywhere in there spoken or written. It's just implied, as we've seen the action of Jesus showing up, seeking Peter out. And Peter realizes in that moment that he does love Jesus and he's sorry for what he's done, and tells Jesus so. So these opportunities, that's what Jesus looks for in us and in all his children. To seize those moments and capitalize on them. So our experience in Jesus and his forgiveness allow us for a relationship, of the divine understanding, and the function to which it gives within the communities. A friend or two, a church group, a whole congregation. If you're a pastor or associate pastor or youth pastor, forgiveness is in the community setting is contagious. So once somebody sees it, another person will do it, another person, and so on and so on. So why is the ongoing experience of divine forgiveness especially important for Christian leaders? So, Christian leadership, a lot of eyes are on you. But forgiveness can kind of go the whole way. You can just go missing from that whole idea of forgiveness and just what a Christian leader is about. So the ones, to lead with not within God's direction, you'll go astray. The people will go astray. The sheep will go astray. And so will, the divine forgiveness that God gives us. It's gone now, that forgiveness, and the need for such, the principles and beliefs are now of no interest. They're not centered. Their thoughts aren't centered on a clear direction of the leader's heart, which, the Christian leaders are called. They lose that sight, and then Perrin finishes that up and says, this is a pretty powerful quote to me. I'm sure all of you too, that kingdom people are forgiven people because they are a forgiven people. And that's so true. that could be a message one Sunday, and that's it. That's very powerful. We're all guilty of not forgiving, and it's important as a community of believers, of people, a society, to forgive, to be like Jesus wants us to be, and to further his kingdom in that way, which is one of many ways. So, looking forward to the other posts. Thank you, guys.